Hey, Sasha and Brian, welcome to episode 20 of the 2025 season, even though it's 2026. I'm here in the beautiful Truck Burn studio. I'm here with my co-host, Mike Roxburns, who's an idiot who missed last week, all because he's got the flu. And I mean, he's probably going to complain today about how much trash he feels. Anyways, and I'm also here with Earl Maynard, and we're here to talk some college football. I still got a nasty cough. I got a tickle in my throat tonight, and so you're just going to have to hear me cough on the podcast. I mean, there's just no way around it. I'm trying to drink water, but it is just an absolute ticklage in my throat, and I can't get rid of it. It's just a nasty cough. Anyways, let's recap. Miami. My goodness, Miami and Ohio State. I wanted to see Carson Beck get his nipples slapped in. I wanted to see his wide eyes get slapped in. And Ohio State, like pure garbage, can't do it. And I mean, Miami's defense is apparently pretty dang good. They held Ohio State to 14 points. 24-14 was that final. Oregon, Texas Tech. This game I wanted to see Texas Tech be competitive. I just wanted to see them play good. And I figured Oregon would win this game. But I just wanted to see Texas Tech look good. They get shut out 23-0. Pure garbage performance. Man. I gotta struggle through this podcast, let me tell you. But my goodness, speaking of trash, Alabama. Why even fly out to California to get your nipples slapped in this hard? 38-3, Indiana hands it to them. And I didn't believe in Indiana. I said Alabama was going to win this game. But Indiana whipped absolute hits. And then, even when they went up 17-0, I was like, well, this happened to Oklahoma. And, or it happened with Oklahoma. And, Alabama can fight back. But they just didn't stand a chance. My goodness. They barely crossed the 50-yard line most of the game. Nothing but pure garbage performance. And then another pure garbage prediction by me. Really, me and Earl said that Georgia would beat Ole Miss. I said Georgia would beat them by 2 touchdowns. And Ole Miss ends up beating them 39-34. So we got Ole Miss versus Miami. And we got Oregon versus Indiana for the Final Four. Man, this cough. I feel like punching something. I wish Carson Beck was right here in front of me because I'd punch him. I'd punch him so hard that his eyes would get closer together, I'll tell you that. But, so anyway, some pretty good matchups. We'll talk about, I guess, who we think's going to win. But, Mike, how are you feeling, buddy?
Well, I'm feeling pretty
I don't
good
care
right
how
now.
you feel, Mike, because my goodness, just what an idiot. I mean, you had the flu and you couldn't be here last week.
I mean, you don't realize how sick I was. I mean,
I don't think you realize how sick I was.
Acting like you're the only one that's sick. My goodness, what an
well,
idiot.
I miss you guys too. My goodness, thanks for the great welcome back.
Well, maybe we wouldn't have to be like this if you wouldn't be such a tit sucker.
I mean, I should have just stayed home another week. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, that probably would have been fine, Mike.
My goodness, let's just move on to questions. All right, first question. I meant to answer this last week. I got caught up. Flat Earth Ernie, he asked a few questions. I told him that it was none of his business, but I actually didn't answer his main question. So he said, what's your favorite kind of sock? He said, I love thermal socks. Even when it's $1.90 outside, I wear my thermals. Well, not only did I know that Flat Earth Ernie was an idiot by believing that there's a flat Earth. Now he's an idiot because he wears thermals year round. What an idiot! I mean, don't get me wrong. I love a good thermal sock when it's cold and I can slip on my muck boots. And I love thermal socks. I'm with you. But if it's $1.90, I'm not wearing thermals. I mean, because I'm going to be wearing shorts, and you can't wear thermals with shorts. So I like a good, like an ankle sock. Right now, I got some K-Swiss ankle socks that I got for Christmas, and man, they're awesome. So hope that answers your question there, Flat Earth Ernie. I'm sorry I missed it last week. All right, so we'll move on to the next question. It is from Jimmy Van Nutsquasher. It says, what was Mike like as a kid? You just know he was a little tattletale in school and probably brought carrots and a little baggie for lunch. Also, if you had to live without baseball, football, or NASCAR, which would it be? It's a great question. Yeah, you know Mike was nothing but a pure idiot. And I mean, he's probably, he probably brought carrots. He probably did tattle on everybody. He probably got straight A's all the time because he was teacher's little pet. He probably had to get lovings from his mom every time she'd drop him off at school. I mean, my goodness, what an idiot. So I'm glad I didn't know Mike as a kid, because I probably would have punched him in his absolute stupid face, because, man, I grew up on the streets, guys. I mean, I didn't grow up in a loving home. I got left in an abandoned toilet factory. Left for dead with my twin brother, and then we had to be raised by Grandpa Frank, who's nothing but a pure garbage idiot. So, I mean, I didn't have that luxury of getting sick and getting loved on. My goodness, I got told to suck it up. I mean, one time I had 105 temperature and was on near death, and Grandpa Frank threw me in an ice bath and said, there you go, cool off. So, I mean, I had to grow up tough. And so Mike's nothing but a pure, just coddled idiot. And anyway, so I'm glad I didn't know him as a kid. So, if I had to live without baseball, football, or NASCAR, man, that's tough. But here lately, it's been a little harder for me to watch baseball. I'm still a Braves fan, but man, the last couple of years have been a disappointment. And honestly, there's so many baseball games too. I don't get to watch a lot of them. So, but I watch NASCAR every week. I watch definitely college football every week. So I guess I would have to do without baseball out of those three. But yeah, I definitely ain't doing without NASCAR. NASCAR's my favorite. So sorry about the cough. It's just ridiculous. And then let's move on to our last question from our good friend Alien Hangover's #1 fan. He said, hey guys, I drove past the studio last night and seen you guys working. I wasn't spying or anything, LOL. Anyways, I was driving by for a 5th time and I happened to notice DeAndre leaving. So I got behind him. Not following him, of course, LOL. He pulled into the Dollar General, and I so happened to need some items as well. So I had a conversation with him about the new song, and he couldn't give me much details, which made me mad, so I actually had to take extra medication. Anyway, he did give me a few nuggets, and now I'm concerned. He said the song is in drop D tuning, which scares me that the song won't be heavy enough. And second, he said you and Mike recorded the song using Squier Telecasters. Why wouldn't a band of your magnitude have a deal with a better guitar company? Anyway, I have major anxiety about it, so I'm hoping you can ease my anxiety and help me lower my medication. P.S. I'd die for this band. Alright, I mean, I don't even know where to begin with this question. I'm a little concerned that we're being, stalked by this guy. I mean, I appreciate you being our fan, but it's getting a little weird. But I guess I will try to ease some of your concerns. That DeAndre, told you that the song was in drop D tuning. Yes, it is true. But if you don't think drop D tuning can be heavy enough, you should check out the band, The Showdown. And you should also listen to Maylene and the Sons of Disaster's first album. I'm telling you, those bands will blow your tits straight back. And it's in drop D tuning. I think a lot of this modern music, the super low tunings are starting to sound real muddy. And there's no clarity to the guitars. So drop D, I think, is great. I think drop C is great. Man, good burpage. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with drop D. And I'm telling you, this song's gonna be heavy. Alien Hangover, I get that. Cascading Memories, that's a light song for us. So pretty much everything else that we're gonna release is gonna be heavy. And so yeah, this song's heavy, so don't you worry. I can ease your concerns there. And then to say that we deserve a better endorsement or whatever on these guitars, it's fine. I mean, I tried to partner up with Fender, years ago, and they pretty much said no. I don't think they realize how big my music is in Japan, and that's fine. They didn't get it, but anyways, so I emailed them, like 3 weeks, every day for 3 weeks straight, until they finally, they decided to partner up and give us a 1% discount on all Squire products. And so, the last order, the last guitar I bought, I saved like $4, and so it pays off. It's a good partnership, and Squire guitars are awesome. And I actually have 4 Squire guitars down here in the studio as we speak. So, and I mean, so who cares? I mean, we love the sound of our Squires, and also, I mean, everybody thinks Telecasters can't play some metal. Let me tell you, they can. And my Tele Deluxe has dual humbuckers, absolutely will blast your tits off. But then Mike used a Telecaster with the single coil pickup, and honestly, if you play our guitars side by side in the mix, his guitar sounds just as heavy. You really can't tell a difference. So that single coil pickup is absolutely doing some work. So man, we love our Telecasters down here. Alien Hangover, we love our partnership with Squire. So we do not have a problem at all with that. But I hate that you're concerned about it, and I hate that you got anxiety about this song. I'm telling you, if you listen to Cascading Memories 35 times a day or whatever you said, you're going to listen to this song 40 plus times a day, because I'm telling you, it's going to blow your tits back. So I can't wait to release this song. But hey, let's talk about the Final Four in college football. All right, and then there were 4. My goodness, I can't believe we're already, towards the end of this. And what a crazy playoff this has been, because, we got teams like Miami and Ole Miss hanging out here going for the national championship. Man, it's impressive. And I guess this is what college football wanted. I don't know if it's best for the sport, but this is what they wanted. They wanted all these teams to have a chance. Not just to have 2 or 3 teams at the end of the year that has a legit chance to win the championship. This year, honestly, there was, outside of James Madison and Tulane, I think everybody else, it wouldn't have shocked anybody if they made a run for a national championship. I mean, maybe Alabama, because they've pretty much sucked tits, towards the end of the year, but that's beside the point. But hey, they still beat Oklahoma, and I thought they were going to beat Indiana. So, crazy how that works, but we got Miami and Ole Miss. Either one of these teams playing for a national championship is going to be absolutely crazy. But hey, one of them's got to make it, and they play Thursday at 6:30. I think I'm going to go. I think Ole Miss wins. I think it's just too good of a story. I think their offense is too good, and man, it's going to be exciting to see.
I think I'm going to go Miami here, guys. Their defense is just nasty. And Carson Beck, I know you don't like him, but, he's experienced. He knows how to, control a game. And as long as he can stay away from the turnovers, this is a dangerous team. And so I'm going to go with Miami.
Carson Beck's eyes. Man, they're just so far apart. Let me get a cough drop real quick. Let me open this up. I like Hall's cough drops because they give you that little pep talk on the wrapper. Let's see what it says. It says, impress yourself today. Yeah, I've already done that. And push on. Yeah, I've done that too. And bet on yourself. Man, I'd be a rich man if I bet on myself. What does this one say? It says, get back in there, champ. Champ, man, I love it. This one says flex your can-do muscle. Oh man, what? Let me put that menthol cough drop. I like menthol. I like menthol cigs. I like menthol dip. So menthol cough drops are great. But I guess I better pick this game, even though it don't matter. We're not even collecting points anymore. But I'll pick Ole Miss just because I want to see them win. I think they're the best story in college football. I mean, Indiana's story's great and all, but man, if Ole Miss could win the championship and shove it up Lane Kiffin's, you know what? That'd be great. So give me the Rebels.
All right, and then Friday, January 9th, 6:30, we have the rematch of Oregon, Indiana. And Indiana currently is only a 3.5-point favorite in this one. And I don't know what to think about Oregon. I know they're well coached. They got fired up enough to shut out Texas Tech. Really impressive. I don't think anybody's talking about Oregon, is the thing. Everybody wants to see Indiana win. Everybody wants to see Ole Miss do it. Even people's like, man, Miami, they haven't been in the national championship picture in a long time. And I think people are looking past Oregon, like it's not a big deal that they're here. And so I think that's motivation. And I think I think they're going up against the best coach in college football, but Dan Lanning is going to have this team fired up. I believe it's going to be a close game, but I have to give it to Indiana. I feel like it's just a special year this year.
I have to agree. It seems like such a storybook, with the whole, Indiana won the Heisman this year. They're playing better than any team right now. The fact that they're the only team that had that first round bye to win. I mean, it seems like everybody was always, rusty. You look at Ohio State, you look at Georgia, you look at last year, all these teams couldn't get ready after that long, layoff. And then here's Indiana goes out there and blows out Alabama. It just proves that they're coached well, they're hungry, they play as a team, everybody does their job. I think they're going to do all the right things and not make mistakes. And I think they're going to win a close game against Oregon.
I love everything that you're saying about Indiana, and I agree. And I want to see Indiana win, but I think just for the fun of it, I'm going to pick Oregon here because like you said, nobody's going to pick them after Indiana did that to Alabama. There's no way anybody on game day picks Oregon in this matchup. Everybody believes that Indiana's just going to walk into the national championship and win it. But I think Oregon has something to say about it, and I think they pull the upset.
All right, guys, that's our picks, and we'll see who's going to be playing for the national championship later on this week. So very exciting. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and we'll catch you next week.